Okay, recording now. So as I mentioned a while ago, we will first discuss some more important topics like machine learning, application of machine learning in finance. So I've seen a lot of definitions about machine learning. Pero para sa akin, what I like most is a very simple definition made by IBM. No? According to IBM, machine learning is a branch of AI and computer science combined, which focuses on the use of data and algorithms to imitate the way humans learn, gradually improving its accuracy. This is it's quite an accurate definition kasi that's what really is involved when we do machine learning. And as you know, we're going to make use of R as the platform, as the tool by which we will do machine learning. Okay, before we go to the different types of machine learning, kasi basically dalawang klase yan. No? We have the supervised and the unsupervised learning. We will be focusing more on supervised learning. Okay. Medyo nagkakaroon ng feedback sa ano. Okay, mute na muna, gentlemen. No? Parang nagkaka-feedback sa ano. Sige, okay. And then ano na lang, just unmute yourself when you ask questions or pag close mo na ito. Iba kasi bumabagal. Let me just close some of them. Okay. Close ko na ito. Okay. So you can access this guy's IBM machine learning. There are several good discussions here. The difference between machine learning, deep learning, and neural networks. Kasi towards the end, we're going also to have examples of neural networks. Okay, may I just ask guys na-encounter niyo na ba ito? Nakapaggawa na kayo ng ganito, ML sa work nyo or neural networks? In any of your classes or in your work itself, have you done some processing using ML or NN, deep learning?
Hindi pa, sir.
Hindi pa, okay.
Sir.
Okay, good. Kasi although hindi naman ganun ka-deep yung ano natin yung discussion, pero at least guys, we will have a taste of the different tools used in ML. We will go to, for example, yung random forest, yung decision trees, XGBoost, several types of machine learning tools, and we will learn how to do it. Okay, and of course, as I said a while ago, yung R ang gagamitin natin. Okay, for today, for this afternoon, what we're going to do is we're going to look at regression on a different plane muna, no? Di ba nagka-subject na kayo tapos ba kayo applied regression and time series?
Multivariate yung meron.
Multivariate. Hindi, wala kayong applied regression and time series?
Doon kami nagkaroon ng regression, sir.
Sa multivariate?
Oo.
Okay, and you used Stata? Stata ginamit nyo?
Statistika, sir.
Statistika. Okay, good. Kasi at least medyo i-review lang natin ng content. Pero did you do cross-validation dun sa statistika? I doubt, in-split nyo ba yung data nyo into training and testing data?
Hindi, sir.
Malamang hindi. Kasi usually sa regression, hindi dinidiscuss yung training and testing. And that's the aspect that we're going to do today para walang may bagong aspect nun sa regression. Yes?
Ang ginawa lang namin, sir, na testing noon, kung chinek namin kung linear muna yung variables.
Okay. So yung usual, yung diagnostics, yung assumptions ng classical linear regression, linearity of the data, linearity of the residuals, homoscedasticity,
Yes, sir.
multicollinearity, autocorrelation, yung mga that stuff, no? yung
Yes,
mga
sir.
assumptions ng classical linear regression model. We're not going to go into that. No? We're going to go into another aspect of regression, which you can also include in your arsenal of skills. Kasi ito nga hindi masyado na-discuss yung splitting the data. Kasi ang ginawa nyo dati, you were given data and then lahat ng observations ng data na yun, you run it sa regression, di ba?
Yes, sir.
Dito guys, mas maganda kasi kung i-split natin yung data. Kasi nagkakaroon tayo ng overfitting if you don't split the data. Okay, we'll discuss that in a while. So let's, I don't know if we have loaded the ggplot and caret, most probably not yet, guys. So kindly install these packages first. If you haven't loaded ggplot2 and caret, you know what to do, guys. Diba? Install that packages, then caret. And then when you're done, guys, kindly chat kung okay na or just unmute yourself. Tell me kung na-acquire na natin yung ggplot2 at saka yung caret. Sige, I'll give you a few seconds siguro or minutes. Pause recording ko, guys, ha? Tapos please remind me to continue recording. Baka ay, thank you. Ako. Anyway. Ayan, guys, no? Buti konti pa rin na natin. Okay, so may question kayo dito, guys. Ano ba ginawa natin dito? Nag-ano lang tayo ng mga functionalities, ano? Here, we created an object called P, and then we're using the function predict. Anong pinapapredict natin? Pinapapredict natin yung sa object na yung model, which is the one that we created, di ba? Ito. Yung model natin kasi, ito yun, guys, di ba? We are asking R to regress price on all the variables of the diamonds dataset. Okay, so that's the object called model. So sabi natin, mag-create ng object called P, this one, P, and then i-predict niya using the function dun sa model, okay, based on the diamonds dataset. And then, ito yung generate niya. And then what I did here was, chinek ko, guys, kasi di ba, meron tayong object na model. Tapos sa loob ng model na yun, meron tayong mga fitted values yan. Yung mga fitted values, sila yung predicted values. So we'd like to see kung pareho ba yung generate na fitted values ng object na model at saka ng predict function. If I run this, yan, tignan nyo, head, guys, yung first 6 values lang. Na-mention ko na ba sa inyo, guys, yung head at saka yung tail, di ba? We know
Yes,
this
sir.
already. Yes, okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
yung, yeah, thank you. 1346, negative 64. Okay. So these are the predicted values. Dito nga lang, kompleto yung 53,000. Ang dami yan. Although hindi piniprint lahat, may sinasabi siya dito na, okay, yan, no? Reach the maximum print. So tinanggal niya yung ibang natitira. Hindi na kasi kakasya sa screen. Okay, so 3 ba yung predicted, guys?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, we can also compute for the errors, no? Ano ba yung errors? Dun sa object natin na na model 1, names, dito natin names ng model. Ano yung laman ng object ng model natin? Here, ito yung mga names, no? Saan dito, guys, yung mga error terms? We're here. Yung mga error terms. Saan dito, guys, yung mga error terms?
Sir, ano ulit yun, sir?
Which among the objects here can we find the error terms? Di ba kasi pag regression, meron tayong model. Di ba? So yung model na yun, yung if we apply the values of your independent variables and replace it or i-apply natin yung values ng independent variables natin dun sa model natin, magkakaroon tayo ng predicted value. Tapos, yung predicted value na yan, i-compare mo sa, sa actual value, meron tayong residuals. Ay, nasabi ko na guys, yung residuals yung error terms. No? So, let's compare guys yung yung error term natin dito. Okay, so let's compute for the error terms. Paano natin mako-compute? So let's create an object called error. Okay, and it's equal to yung predicted value, ima-minus natin, no? Si diamonds. Okay, si diamonds, bracket natin, and then double bracket kasi ito yung variable na price. Okay, tingnan nyo lang yung logic na to guys. No? P is the predicted value minus the actual value, yung actual price ng diamonds. That will give us the error term. Okay? So, if you run this, okay, hindi pa natin na print error. Print natin siya. Ito, error. Okay, so yung unang error term natin, 1672.36. Saan nanggaling yan? Saan nanggaling kung 1672.36? Pareho ba tayo? Gentlemen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, saan nanggaling yan? Just to quickly check lang guys para so that we know what's happening. Asan ba yung natin? So, ito yung fitted value, yung number 1. Copy ko lang. Control C. Dito na lang. Control C. So this is the predicted value for observation number 1. Ano yung actual value ni number 1? Actual value niya. Si diamonds. Okay. Ano yung price niya? 326. Yung observation 1, 326. Control C. Control V. Okay, di ba? Ang actual value 326. Tapos minus natin, i-minus natin yung predicted value is negative 13.46. So ang question, ano yung residual natin? Negative 16. Ito. Error. Asa na yung actual?
It's the same.
Yeah, it should be. No? It should be. Actual minus. Kasi yung predicted natin.
1672.3642877.
1672.
Yes, sir.
Point.
3642877.
364 na lang. 364 na lang.
Yeah.
Okay. Actual minus predicted.
Plus.
Control C. Okay, yan, di ba?
Yeah.
That's the difference. This is the residual. Just showing you guys yung just to convince you that we get the correct values dito sa LM. Okay. So next ko na to. Saan na tayo? Alright, then we can calculate the root mean square error. Although ito guys, inaano naman to, no, yung generate na ng usually ng mga software, no? Kahit statistica, i-generate na sa regression output yung Ramsey, yung root mean square error. Pero just to para exercise na rin sa R, Ramsey is yung error squared. Tapos kukunin natin yung mean ng mga error square, tapos kukunin natin yung square root. So medyo mahabang process, no? Okay, kasi may ano na tayo, may error na tayo. Itong object na ito, error. No? So I'll type here error. Okay, simulan ko muna sa error. Let me start with error. Error. Okay, and then square natin. So this is our error squared. Yun yung squared error natin. Yun ang squared error. And then we get the mean. Mean ng error squared. Right? And then get the square root. SQRT. Okay. So that's the root mean square error. Okay, 1129.843. Sometimes, ginagamit yung Ramsey in order to compare models. Of course, the lower the Ramsey, the better. Okay. All right, clear so far, guys? Mga preliminary, ano lang yan, mga preliminary things that we need to do. That, kasi, as I recall, guys, you told me that hindi nyo ginamit yung R sa ibang, ano nyo, sa ibang subjects, even regression. So here we're just having a taste of using R in regression. Okay, now ito na yung pinaka-ano natin. What you learned in regression, guys, is to use all your data. Use all your data and then come up with your model. Now, that's not a good practice. That's not a good practice kasi magkakaroon tayo ng overfitting. When you say overfitting, ginamit natin lahat ng data natin, and then we try to generate a model out of it. Now, the better practice is to split your data. So magka-create tayo ng isang subset ng data, one that we will call testing data. And then, what we're going to do is, after we generate a model out of the testing data, we use the model in order to check dun sa erase guys. We split our data into training data and to testing data. Train, test. So ini-split natin yan. How do we split it? It depends on the size of your data. So usually 70-30, minsan 60-40, depende. What's the purpose, guys? The purpose of to split your data into a training and a testing is so that you don't come up with a model that overfits your data. Now, overfit yung data natin. So, in other words, guys, magtitira tayo ng a certain percentage para ma-validate natin kung okay yung model natin if we're given a new set of data. A data that it has not yet seen before. You get it, guys?
Yes, sir.
Waiting ko yung explanation. Suppose we have 1,000 observations. The size of the sample is 1,000. So we're not going to use that 1,000, that's the sample size of 1,000, to generate our model. What we can do is to split the data, 70-30. So we split, we get 700 responses, create the model, and then with the model, guys, saka natin isa lang test yung ano natin, yung data na sa testing data. And see ano yung error natin, ano yung Ramsey natin. We're testing the model if it can also predict yung variable of interest natin using the quote-unquote new data. New data kasi hindi pa nakita ng model natin. Okay, I hope that's clear, guys. In-expect natin data natin in a nutshell into training. Yung training data natin, yun ang gagamitin natin na para i-test para i-run yung model natin, para i-generate yung model. And then after we have the model already, gamitin natin yung testing data natin to see kung gaano kaganda, kung gaano ka-robust yung model natin para i-explain yung data na hindi pa niya nakikita, which is your testing data. So yun lang ang ibig sabihin actually nun. Okay, so there are different ways to split your data into training, into testing. Yung iba simple lang, kunyari meron tayong 1,000 observations, So kunyari, ang gagamitin natin 70-30. So, ang gagawin natin, we'll create an object called training, tapos siya yung 1 to 700. And then, yung testing will be from 701 up to 1,000. Gets, guys? Clear ba? Reading ba?
Ulit, sir.
Sige.
Medyo.
Medyo, sige. Ganito ha. Sige. We have 1,000 observations.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yung ginawa nyo dati ng regression nyo, ginamit nyo lahat ng data nyo yan, di ba?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Para minodel nyo. Hindi naman kayo nag-split ng data, di ba?
Hindi.
Hindi. No, ang problem sa ganun, guys, hindi mo na matetest yung data mo kasi lahat ng observations yung pinasok mo na sa model. Di ba? So, a good practice is to split your data. Kunyari, 70%, 30%, depende sa laki ng data natin. This is a common practice, 70-30. Ang gagawin natin, split natin yung data natin. So 700 lang yung gagamitin natin in order to do the regression model. Anong gagawin sa 300? Yung 300 ngayon, itetest natin yung kung okay yung ano natin, yung model natin. Gagamitin natin yung model natin para i-test yung remaining data para ma-check kung ano yung R-squared niya, ano yung adjusted R-squared, ano yung Ramsey. So we're using it on a data set that has not yet been seen by the model. Hindi pa nakikita. Bakit hindi pa nakita? Kasi, di ba, ang ginamit natin para i-generate yung model, yung testing data. So testing data and training data and testing data. Yun yung split natin. Anong use niya? Training will be used to model, to generate the model. Si testing, ano naman? Si testing, ang gagamitin natin para ma-check kung okay yung model natin. Okay? So, paano natin ma-determine si training at si testing? Depende sa size ng observations natin. Usually, it's 70-30. Pag malaki, pwede kang mag 80-20 or 60-65-35. Pag malaki yung natin yung sample size. Okay, so paano ini-split yung training at saka testing? Okay, yung pinaka-simple, guys, ganito lang. So from 1 to 700, yun ay training data natin. Di ba may data ka, di ba? Right? 1,000 yun, di ba? So yung 1 to 700, yun ang training data natin. Tapos ang testing data natin, yung remaining 701 hanggang 1,000. Gets, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that's the common way, no? But there's a better way than that. So tingnan natin yung better way kasi at least ang natutunan natin yung better approach. Pero pwede rin yan, guys, no? Assuming na randomly okay, kasi ganito. Let me explain that by an illustration. Okay, kunyari yung diamonds, guys. Yung diamonds sa data set natin. What if ito, sinort yung data? Kunyari nakasort siya by, sinort natin. Kunyari, nakaganyan yung data natin. So, fair lahat, no? Fair. So, maraming fair. Diba? Maraming fair. Tapos, anong nangyayari? So, magkakaroon ng bias yung data natin kasi naka-arrange siya in such a way that, kunyari, panay fair lang, no? Ang nasa una. So, mangyayari nga, guys, yung sa data natin, yung fair, yung sa training siguro, karamihan doon fair. The rest, tapos sa testing natin, konti na lang yung fair, yung the rest yung ibang variables, yung ibang factors. Get you, guys?
Sir.
So hindi maganda na gagawin natin 1 to 700 yung training data natin, 701 to 1,000 yung testing. Kasi baka naka-arrange yung data natin into a particular baka naka-alphabetize or etc. Okay, so it's not a good practice. Ito hindi magandang practice to. So anong gagawin natin? ito. One way to take the train test split of a data set is to order the data set randomly. So ang gagawin natin guys, i-rumble natin to. Para walang para hindi siya naka-alphabetical kunyari sa fair, naka-alphabetical din sa ibang variables. I-randomize natin siya. Okay? So that's what we mean by order the data set randomly and then divide it into two sets. So i-randomize muna natin siya, paghalu-haluin natin siya, okay, so that it will disturb, it will remove any ordering that we may have done about it. Kunyari, sinort natin from highest to lowest. No? So, pangit kasi guys kung nakaganon yung data natin, tapos split nyo lang by number. Kunyari 1 to 700, etc. Okay? So, if we randomize it, this will ensure that the training data set and testing data set are random samples. And that we are able to remove any bias. Kasi di ba, an example natin dito, kunyari, ito yung ginamit natin. So, panay fair yung nasa unang-una. So, magkakaroon tayo ng bias dito. When we do regression here, karamihan ng cut natin fair. So, mag-create yan ng bias sa model natin. Okay? So parang nagsashuffle ka lang ng deck of cards. Bago natin i-detail. Alright. Clear yung explanation, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Sure kayo? Sure? Baka may may
Yes,
gusto
yes, sir.
Okay. Sige, yan ang gagawin natin ngayon. Now, question lang guys, nag-set that seed na ba tayo dati?
Hindi pa, sir.
Hindi pa. Okay, sige. Alright. Naalala yung R norm, di ba? Parang nagganun tayo
Yes, sir. Yung art.
Yes,
di
sir.
ba? Yung R norm, randomly generated yun, di ba?
Yes, sir.
Kung mag-R norm tayo tapos hindi tayo nag-set that seed, iba-iba yung natin, di ba? Iba-iba yung figures natin, right? Okay, so if you recall set that seed, mag-set that seed tayo para pare-pareho yung natin. Sige, set that seed. So, anong gusto mo number?
Out of, sir?
Kahit ano.
18, sir.
18. Sige, pwede yan. 18. Yan. Okay, dagdagan mo pa ng isa para 3 digit.
187.
187. Okay. So, pare-pareho tayo guys ng number. Para pare-pareho yung ma-generate na random numbers. Okay. Now, we're going to make use of the sample. Okay, sample function. Ano yung sample function? Tingnan muna natin para medyo familiar tayo. Sample. What does the sample function do? Yan. Oops. Sampling. Random samples. Nasa base siya. Ito yan. Okay, sample. Nasa base R. No? Okay, so the sample takes a sample of the specified size from the elements of X using either with or without replacement. Okay? So, sample guys, parang nagdo-draw out ka ng kunyari meron tayong bowl of marbles, no? Usually na example sa probabilities. Kukuha ka ng magdo-draw out ka dun sa you'll draw out from that bowl. Okay, kuha, and then kuha ulit. No? So, yun ang sample. Okay, and merong, depende yan guys kung replace is equal to false or replace is equal to true. Okay, ano yung replace? What's replace guys? Yung replace, kung nakuha mo na yung item, okay, pwede mo bang ibalik? Okay, replace is equal to false. Pag nakuha mo na yung item, hindi mo na pwedeng ibalik yun. Pag replace is equal to true naman, pag kinuha mo yung item, no, pwede mo pang ibalik. So, ibig sabihin, pwede pa makuha ulit yung sample na yun, yung observation na yun. Okay? So, ito, critical kung konti lang yung natin, yung sample size. Pero 53,000 guys eh. So it doesn't matter really kung i-replace natin siya o hindi, no?
Kasi mataas yung chance na maulit-ulit siya, no, sir? Pumalit yung sample size.
Oo, correct. Yan, exactly. Thank you, Celso. Pero pag malaki, guys, yung probability na ano na makukuha ulit siya, yeah, it's quite remote, no? 1 out of 53,000. Yun ang sample size natin. Okay. All right. So, hindi ko yata dapat tinanggal ko 'to para tayo gagawa. So, andyan na yung answer, guys, ano? Yan yung sample. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Dapat tinanggal ko to kasi I want you to write the code itself. Anyway, andyan na. No? So here, nagkakreate tayo ng isang object. Ang tawag sa object na yan, rows. Tapos, ano daw yung gagawin sa rows niyan? Sample, okay, and row, ilang sample? Ilang sample?
Ilang sample out of
Oo.
diamonds?
Oo, ilang sample? Yung n row ng diamonds, ibig sabihin, lahat, no? In other words, mag-create tayo ng isang sample na same yung size ng diamond sa dataset. Ano ba yung size ng diamond sa dataset? Diyan yan, pero sige, isulat ko nilang length ng diamonds. Gano'n siya kalaki? Ay, wait. Variables pala ito. Ano? N row na lang. N row diamonds. So there are 53,940. So we want to generate a sample then na 53,940. Okay, sige, tingnan natin muna itong ano, no? Let's see what rows, ano yung laman ng rows na to. Ayan. So, andito na, no?
Sir,
Yes?
paano yung set seed kanina?
Ay, nga pala. O nga pa. Ilan natin to guys para pareho tayo. Ayan. Okay, set seed, no? And then, here, run natin to. And then, mag-generate siya ng, ayan, tinan nyo to guys. Ano siya? What do we have now? Nag-generate tayo ng isang object. It's a vector. Ang tawag natin sa kanya rows. Tapos, naka-identify guys yung ano, yung observation number. Okay, so itong 6324, observation number 6324, ginawa niyang number 1 na. Okay? Yung observation number 2, ginawa niya yung observation 18804 dun sa original, dun sa diamonds. So this is now highly randomized na to, di ba? Yung dulo niya, naging yung observation 53796, yun na yung pinakadulo. Guys, gentlemen, pareho tayo. 6324 din sa inyo.
Ano, sir, yung pinakadulo?
Ang pinakadulo ko is 53796 sa inyo.
Balik na data yung sa akin, sir.
Ha?
Yung pinakadulo sa akin, 35244.
35244. Sandali, ulitin natin ha. Set that sheet ulit tayo. No? Kasi, guys, okay. Set that sheet ulit natin. Dito natin lagay ito para sure. Control C, Control V. Sama natin dito sa ano, sa code chunk na to. Yan, i-run natin itong buong to. Yan. Okay, ano yung una nyo?
Lang, sir.
Sige.
Iba pa rin sa akin, sir.
Iba pa rin?
Baliktad. Isang ano lang sa akin, isang row.
Wait ha, sige. Tingnan ko nga yung ano nyo.
Ang una sa akin, 6324.
Ayun, pareho tayo. 6324 yung una.
Yes, sir.
Sandali. I'll just make you both co-hosts. Okay. William, may problems here, di ba?
Yes, sir.
Paki-share nga, tingnan natin. Stop share muna ako. Ako mag-share ng ano, screen.
Parito lang siya, sir.
Andiyan na, ayan yung rows.
Ay, no.
Oh, sa baba. I-view mo siya. I-click mo yung
Ito na nga,
rows.
sir. Ito yung sa taas.
Hindi, yung sa console mo, William.
Ito nga, yung naklik ko na siya, di ba? Ito.
Hindi, yung sa console mo, i-run mo yung view rows.
Rinaan mo na ba yung...
Na-run na siya.
Naraan mo na. Sige nga, ulitin mo.
Alt enter mo.
Control enter.
Ako.
Wala rin eh.
Sige, i-type mo na lang ulit. View, tapos view rows.
Ganun talaga.
Hindi, nagra-run pa ata siya kasi masyadong madami eh.
Hindi, tinan mo kasi yung values nag-appear siya dito sa column. Parang yung format niya mali.
Sige nga, i-click mo yan.
Oh. Wala, nag-populate lang siya dito.
Sandali ha. Ano nangyari dyan? Ibalik mo nga sa yung code chunk natin. Set.scene rows. Tama naman. I-run mo nga ulit yan. Yung buong code chunk.
Ganun pa rin, sir.
Nasa value siya. Tama kasi vector yan.
Wait, maybe, no?
Okay. Minsan kasi nagkakaroon ng ganyang punta ka nga dun sa code chunk ulit, William. Dun sa ilalim. Sige, dyan. Dyan sa ilalim ng view rows, mag-insert ka ng panibago. Yan. Print mo nga, print rows.
Ganyan, sir, no?
Sige, enter mo. Yan, okay. Yan, dyan natin siya pinaprint. Ayan, di ba? 6324 yung una mo. Cells pareho, 18804.
Ganun.
Pero pareho, no? Yung problema lang natin, hindi siya nagpapakita sa dyan sa tab dyan. Pero kita mo naman na di ba? Andyan, no? Ayan siya. I-ano mo nga, ipaki-compare nga yung unang 6324 yung una. So,
6324
tapos
18804.
pareho, di ba? Tapos, William, i-tails mo nga, tail. I-add mo ulit, tail. Tapos yung rows. Tignan natin last 6. Ayan. Cells, yung last ba, 53796?
Sir? Yung nare-reach ko din yung maximum, sir eh. Nakakat sa
Doon mo tingnan sa view mo tingnan, doon sa
Wait lang, sir.
O kaya i-ano mo, tail, tapos rows, para ibagay sa akin yung yung last 6.
Yung last nag-tail rows ako, sir, ang lumabas 32295.
Yan, pareho kayo, di ba?
38.
Ay, sorry.
354.
Yan, Tapos yung pinakahuli yung 53796.
Yes, sir. Same lang.
Okay, ano yan? William, andyan yan. Hindi nga lang natin mapakita dun sa hindi ko alam kung bakit, no? Pero it's there.
Nare-reach siya kasi yung maximum print eh. Feel ko lang.
Hindi, pag rows dapat kaya niya. Kahit 53,000 yan, kaya niya yan. Kasi naka-spreadsheet form yan. Okay? So no problem, William. Ano na lang, explore na lang natin kung bakit. Na-encounter ko na dati, hindi ko lang matandaan kung ano yung ginawa ko. Hindi siya hindi siya nagdi-display dun sa sa panibagong tab. Pero alam natin that it's there kasi nasa nasa values, no? So it's an integer from 1 up to 53,940.
Oops.
Yan, session 3. Okay? Sige, pwede mo na i-X yan para
Na-close ko na rin.
Sige. I-X mo na yung yung tail at saka kasi mahaba yung... Sige. Okay. Share screen ulit ako,
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So let's go back, no? Okay. So anong gamit itong rows na to? Itong mga numbers na to? What's the use now? We're now going to create a vector, okay? Okay na. Okay. So use this random vector to reorder the diamonds data set. So paano natin gagawin yan? I-rearrange natin yung diamonds data set natin. No? So let's create another object, diamonds. Okay. Lagyan natin ng S, no? Para naka-shuffle siya. So this is another object. Diamonds underscore S, diamonds, para naka-shuffle siya.
Sir, ano ulit yung purpose ng S?
Ano lang, just to distinguish it from ano.
Okay, sir. Para
Pwede, kahit anong pangalan niya na. Kung gusto mo,
sir.
diamonds underscore Celso.
Kala ko may purpose.
Wala. But thank you for asking. Nice question. So, ano lang siya, yung pangalan lang, just to distinguish it from ano. You can use diamonds one, ano siya, arbitrary lang yan. No? So here, I'm creating an object called diamonds S. Ang gagawin natin guys, si diamonds. No? Okay. Si diamonds, tapos, okay, so si diamonds, anong gagawin natin? Isa-subset natin siya. And then, paano yung order ng mga ano? Paano yung order? Gagamitin natin si rows. So yung sa row, gagamitin natin yung order ng object na create natin sa rows. Tapos si column, pareho lang. Okay. Before we run this, huwag niyo muna i-run kung hindi niyo pa rin na-run. Tinunulit natin diamonds. Saan ba yung diamonds? Okay, ito yung diamonds. No? Okay, ano yung una niya? Ang unang karat niya, price na lang. 337 tapos 2757. Ito yung una niya, 337 at saka
2757.
Ilagay natin dito. Sige, para sure tayo. Head ng diamonds para may comparison tayo niya. So ito yung unang ano niya, no? Ito yung first 6 rows niya. Tapos head ng row. Row ba yung ginamit natin o rows?
Rows.
Rows. Yan. 6324. No? Okay. Tapos pwede natin gawing diamonds. Hanapin natin si row 6324. And then, yan. Ito, yung row 6324 ng diamonds. No? Ayan, 1.1, very good. Nakuha niyo guys yung ginagawa ko? What I'm doing here is, gusto ko lang malaman kung tama ba yung gagawin ni na re-reorder niya si diamonds. It will create a new object called diamonds S. Tapos ang gagawin niyang ordering, yung based on the rows. Ayan, ito yung gagawin niyang unang-una sa 6324. Ang pangalawa niya si 1804. Okay, so tingnan natin guys. So iraran ko to. Tapos edit ko na lang view diamonds S. Okay, anong una niya guys? Pareho ba dun sa 6324?
Error.
Error ba?
Diamond.
Ako din, sir.
Okay, sige ha. Diamonds underscore S tayo ha. Rinan nyo to, diamonds underscore S, tapos diamonds rows. Take a look at this.
Capital V ba siya, sir?
Oo, capital V ang view.
Okay. Kaya pala. Wait lang. Okay na.
Yan.
Okay na din, sir.
Okay na. William, nag-okay yung mo? nag-display siya sa ano sa tab Diamonds S.
Okay na siya, sir.
Okay na.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So, ano yung napansin niyo ano yung unang ano dito? Anong unang item?
1 point.
1.11, di ba? Which
Yes,
is
sir.
kanina nung ano natin, hinahanap natin kayo ano yung
1.11.
1.11, very good. Age S12, yun eksakto, di ba? 61.5. Yun siya, no? So this proves that rin-order niya yung ano yung diamond. So based on the rows na generate natin. Rin-order niya. Okay? Clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. So what happened now? We created a new object called Diamonds S. Tapos parang nakakarambola na yan, no? Naka-rumble na yung ano. Hindi natin gagamitin yung diamonds na object para to regress kasi baka may ordering na ginawa dun no? Baka may inalphabetize o baka may in order sa kanya in such a way na hindi na siya random. Of course, guys, you cannot do this for a time series, ha? Hindi ka pwedeng
Hindi pwedeng random.
Oo, kasi may logic yung ordering na imagine kunyari 1960 to 2010 yung data mo, rinandom mo siya. Bakit mo rinandom? Wala lang, masaya lang ako.
Pero sir, what if gusto mo kumuha ka ng tigda-dalawa sa every time series? Like for example,
Saan? Tigda-dalawa?
Or like for example, from 2000 to 2010, gusto mo kumuha ng tigda-dalawang sample.
Tigda-dalawa.
Tapos random lang siya. Pwede ba yung gano'n?
Hindi, pag ganun guys, ang ginagawa niya, ang gagawin nyo dyan, kunyari 1960 to 2008, yun ang data na gagamitin nyo. Yun ang training nyo. Tapos titingnan nyo kung okay yung model nyo from 2008 to 2009 to 2010. Ganun yung training and testing kapag time series. Get siya guys? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Sure?
Sir, so bale kung ganun, i-predict mo yung 2009 gamit yung 2008, tapos kung mag-match sila.
Yeah. Oh. Ang gagawin mo, kunyari from 1960 yung data natin hanggang 2010. So we can use the data from 1960 hanggang 2008 to come up with a model. Kunyari ARIMA siya o GARCH model. And then from 2000, tapos gagamitin natin yung model na yun to predict yung 2009 to 2010. Tingnan natin kung malaki yung error o kung ano yung R, whatever measure, R squared, etc. Klaro guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sige. So we're now ready to, kasi may bagong data set na tayo, diamonds. Ito na yung shuffled. Ano? So i-split na natin yung data natin. Okay, so naka-random na yung ordering nila. So yung pag-split natin ngayon, pwede na yung 1 to 80%, and then the next one will be yung the next observation after that. Okay, so let's split now our data. Pwede natin gamitin 80-20. Okay lang 80-20 kasi malaki naman yung imagine 53,000 kunyari, 50,000 na lang. 20% no, that's 10,000. So malaking ano na yun for malaking size na yun for a testing. No? And yung sa training natin, 40,000, malaki yun. So how do we now, i-ano natin guys, i-split na natin yung data natin. Okay, so let's generate an object, no? Let's call it split na lang. Split. Okay? So si split, ang gagawin natin, yung end row ni diamond S o diamond underscore S, pareho lang yan kasi pareho lang naman silang 53,000. No? Okay, agree kayo guys, yung end row ni diamond S ba ito? Diamond S. Ano ba yung ano natin?
Diamonds.
Diamonds, may S. No?
Sir.
Diamonds S. Yung n-row ni Diamonds S at saka ni Diamond S, pareho lang yan kasi pareho lang naman silang pareho silang 53,000, di ba? Yung isa order lang naman natin. So just to 53,000. Ganun din si Ganun din si Diamond lang. Pareho lang naman na 53,000. Okay, so ang gagawin natin guys, we'll create an object called split and it will be based on yung n-row ni Diamonds. No? Tapos, ang i-ano natin, times 0.8 na lang. Okay, pwede natin gawing baka dito. Let's call S1. Split 1 natin is 80%. Of course, S2 will be 20%. So generate natin to. Okay, ano nangyari dito? S1. Input. Ano yun? Tanggap mo. Okay. Kasi yung percent ginagamit sa assignment, no?
Sir?
Okay. Hello?
Wait now. When I tried to press Alt I pressed something else and it compressed all the...
Alt I. Wait.
Yeah, it compressed all the chunks.
Stop share nga. Oo. Sige. Stop share nga ako. Sige. I-share nga. Oo. Dali. Ano ba yung... Tinan mo nga sandali. May ano yan may shortcut din yan.
Yeah.
Okay. Nakalimutan ko kung paano yung shortcut.
I don't remember what I pressed.
Oo. That happened to me several times already. Tingnan mo nga, William, yung nasa taas. Yung nakita mo yung gear na icon?
Yeah.
Yung sa kanan niya, tingnan mo nga.
This one? Or this one?
Yan. Check that first. Yung nasa yan. Hindi yan. Sige, yung isa. Yung isang icon ulit. Yeah,
this one?
sige. Oh, yeah, that one. Tingnan natin, ha?
Oh, expand. I think.
Ayan, sige. Check natin.
Oh, nope.
Ayan.
Let's try perhaps. Expand. Oh, there. No. It only did one.
May ano yan, hindi ko na maalala kung saan yung
Wait, let me Google it.
Zoom lang ata yun eh. Parang nangyari sa akin yan nung nakaraan.
Kasi kung iisa-isa mo siya matagal, meron siyang isang code na or isang drop down na
Oh, okay, hold on. I think it's
saan?
Control, wait, sorry.
Kanina control I ba? Yan mo.
Shift Alt O. Yan. Okay.
Shift Alt
Shift Alt O.
Shift tapos Alt tapos O.
Yeah. Kasi if Alt O, it will compress. O yung napindot ko. So,
Alt O yung inano mo kanina. Okay. Sige, thank you. Yung mga ganyan dapat tinatandaan ko. Hindi ko tinatandaan. Ayan. Okay. Alright, good. Sige, thank you.
It doesn't look normal though. Is it okay? Okay naman pala. It's okay pala. Sorry.
Oo, sige.
Isa ibabaw lang. It shrunk?
Ano yan?
Parang hindi na siya.
I-X mo na lang muna siya. Kasi output lang naman yan. Yung sa row 24.
Pero okay naman siya, sir. I mean, yung sa baba, maayos naman siya.
Okay.
I mean, medyo maayos. Okay. Oops. Hindi, nag-shrink din talaga siya. Okay,
Yung
okay,
shrink
okay.
output yata yun, no?
Yeah.
Expand all output.
Ayun. Ay. Parang
Baka nasa
okay na ata.
expand all output yan.
Okay na ata, sir.
Okay na? Okay, sige.
Ata. Mukhang okay na. Ayan. Sorry.
Okay, no, that's okay. O, sige, so share ulit ako ng screen, ha?
Yes, sir.
Sige. Alright, so split natin 80-20, it's up to you guys. Pag malaki yung sample size natin, pwedeng malaki yung sa training. Alright, so ito n rows tapos times S1, no? May S1 na tayo. Or you could pwedeng diretso naman na 0.8. Binagyan ko lang ng value. Okay, so ano yung split? Tingnan natin. So split is 43152. Saan ang galing yan? N row, tama. N row, which is 53,940 times 80%. So that's 43,152. Now, minsan guys, lalo pag may decimal, tapos if you don't want any decimal, you can use the round function. So yung round, depende kung gusto mong 1 decimal place, they round yung function and then comma 1. So here we just want to make sure that there's no decimal place dun sa observation. So ito guys, yung split na to, kasi ang inaano nito row 43152 yung split na number, no? So we can now create a training data. So let's call it train, and then this should be coming from Diamond's S, diba? Ito na yung natin, yung na-shuffle na data, right? Tama guys?
Yes, sir.
And we want to split our data brackets for subsetting 1 up to 1 hanggang ano?
80?
Hanggang split,
700.
Ay, split. Sorry.
1 hanggang split, diba? Yan, diba? Kasi, dinefine na natin kung yung split eh. So, ang sinasabi natin, from observation number 1 hanggang 43,152, that belongs to train, diba?
Okay.
Tama? So, maganda yan kasi randomly generated yung natin, yung ordering natin. Wala siyang hindi siya yung parang lang, sinort muna, tinagal natin kung ano mang ordering ang pwedeng ando dun sa data natin. Alright, clear so far guys, yung train natin?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so, sige, tapos i-view natin. Okay, run natin to. Train pala, sorry. View, wala pa pala ako. Train, yan. Let's run this. Okay. Ilan na lang yung observations natin? 43,152. Okay. Ito din yung Diamond's shuffle.
Error sa akin, sir.
Nag-error. Sige. Stop share ako. Charles, paki-share yung...
Wala.
Ano yan?
Baka small letter yung V.
I-X muna yung output. I-X muna Charles, yung output na yan. Para... small V ka na naman.
Small V.
Mahilig ka sa small V, ha?
Hindi, sir. Ako yung kanina.
Sige lang.
Ayan.
Okay lang, sir.
Ayan. Okay, yan na. Diba? Okay. Ilang observations yan, Charles? Bakit 4? Okay. 4, 3, 1, 5. 1 out of 25. Sige, ibaba mo nga. Go to the last, observation. Yan.
4315.
So, ba't 4315 lang? Dapat 43,000. Balik nga sa code mo. Sos. Okay, ano ba yung 8% lang kasi yung ginawa mo, my friend.
Oo nga. Dapat 80%.
Oo, 28% lang yung dulo mo yan. Okay, sige, run mo ulit yung ano. Yung, ilan naman yung split? Ayan, ilan na?
What?
4-3 pa rin. Sige nga, ulitin mo nga. I-run mo ulit yung ano, yung split. Kasi hindi mo siya rinan kanina eh. Yan. Yan. Okay na.
Okay na, sir.
Okay na. Good.
41.
41 o 43?
4315.
43. Okay, good. Sige. So, share ulit ako ha.
Sige, sir.
Okay. So, alright. So, test. Dali na si test, no? Create naman natin si test. Test. Okay. From diamonds then, di ba? Diamonds. And then, ano na to? Dali na lang to. So, from where to where, guys? Yung isa, hanggang kay split, hanggang kay 43,152. So, syempre ito, split plus 1 lang, di ba? Right? Hanggang so kailangan yung row natin, lagyan natin kailangan ng ano ng parenthesis, okay? Up to when? Up to where? Kasi kailangan i-define natin from where, from which row up to which row. Hanggang okay. Take a look, guys, at our function test. It will be from split plus 1. So that's 43,152 plus 1. Kasi ang train hanggang 43,152 eh. Hanggang n row, number of row ni diamonds S, which is 53,940. So that will be from 43,153 hanggang 53,940. Comma, then all the columns. Yes, guys? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sige, din natin. So view, si test. Run. So si test natin, mga ano lang to, no? Yan, mga 10,000 something. Yan. Okay, just to check, ano, diamonds. Yes. Para lang assured tayo, no? 43,153. Yeah. Diamonds S. Ano yung row 43,153? 0.77 yun, di ba? 0.77 premium J. Right, guys? Pause muna ako, baka may questions ko.
Same naman, sir.
So okay tayo, no? Tama yung ano natin.
0.77.
Tama. No? Okay, so importante yan, guys, kasi ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo na ano, some things that you did in regression before na dinode nyo lang lahat ng data. No? Tapos hindi kayo hindi kayo sa machine learning kasi it's important that you do validation. You create a model and then you validate using new data. Otherwise, ang problem lang gagamitin natin lahat ng 53,000 dun sa model natin, which we did a while ago. Diba? Ginamit natin yung lahat ng mag-overfitting tayo. Kasi hahanap si R ng model na it will try to squeeze in all your data. It will use all your data para yung model natin it fits exactly yung 53,000, not exactly, as much as possible yung 53,940 observations. Okay, so it's good to create your training data and your testing data. Okay, so na-create na natin si train at saka si test. Pwede na tayo guys mag-LM. Okay, so mag-create muna tayo ng isang ng model. Kanina model ano ba tayo? Model, so let's call this model 2. Model 2 na lang. Model 2, okay? And then, di ba regression LM? So, i-regress natin si price. Just to be sure. So, yung diamonds natin. Price ba? Prices. So, it's price. No? So, I'm going to regress price. Okay? Control, oops, wait. Namali ako, dapat shift, security. Okay, and then, di ba, lahat ng variables, we're going to include all the variables and then comma, data is equal to true. Ito na yung difference, guys. Hindi natin gagamitin yung diamonds na buong data. Ang gagamitin natin dito, si train data, summarize natin sa model 2. Okay, so we're now generating a second model and we're implementing here, we're applying yung splitting your data into a training data and testing data. And then re-regress natin siya. So LM, linear model, price, regress on all your variables, data is equal to train, summary, in model 2. Let's generate this. Okay. Ito yung model natin. Ito ang adjusted R squared niya, 91.93. Yung kanina, $91.98. Mas malaki lang ng konti. Okay. Clear so far, guys? Yan po na?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, alright. Saan ba tayo? Yeah. So, ito yung model natin, ano? This is our model 2, where we regress yung price on the very different variables using train data. Okay, so pwede nating i-run din, no? I-run din natin yung model natin on testing data and compare compare natin yung R squared nila. Naalala ba AIC, guys? Hello? Did you discuss AIC before?
AIC, sir.
AIC, AKAIKI, Information Criterion. Hindi?
Hindi.
Okay, AIC, ginagamit yan when you have several models. No? When you have several models. Kunyari, yung isang model, ang ginamit natin, 5 lang yung predictors. Yung isa naman, ang ginamit natin, 6. So, how do you know which model is better? Yung isang model, ang ginamit natin, 6 na predictors. Yung isa, 5 lang. Pero of course, pareho dapat yung dependent variable. Pero magkaiba sila ng number of independent variables. Were you taught before how to determine which is better among them?
Yes, sir. Nakalimutan ko lang yung variable na chine-check dun eh.
Pero hindi kayo information criteria. Hindi kayo nag-AIC.
Hindi, sir.
Okay. Ginagamit yung guys sa AIC, no? Akaiki Information Criteria. Okay, ano ba yung model? Ano ba yung model natin kanina? Yung model natin kanina, guys, yung model natin, di ba? Ang ginamit natin to lahat ng observations. Eh. So I can check yung AIC. This is Akaiki Information Criterion ng model, ng object natin ng model. Okay, 911,503. Ang ano kasi guys, the lower the AIC, the better. The AIC, tapos check naman natin si model 2. Baka mas mataas ang Akaiki ng model 2 kasi yun.
Yung ginawa po pala namin, sir, dati, kung di ako nagkakamali, yung dinadagdagan namin yung observation, tapos tinitignan namin kung
Observation o variable?
variable, sir.
Ano yun? For stepwise regression kayo. It's a stepwise regression. Forward stepwise regression. Is that what you mean? Cells?
Masyadong ano, sir. Pero
Alam mo
yung ginagawa namin.
So nagdadagdag or nagbabawas, no?
Sir.
So meron
Yes.
may tinatawag na na stepwise na backward stepwise regression. Minomodel niyo muna lahat ng variables, tapos isa-isa niyo tinatanggal. Depende dun sa P-star, no? Sa lowest absolute value ng P-star.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's what we call stepwise regression. Backward stepwise. Ito guys, iba tong AIC. This is Akaiki Information Criterion. In fact, dito, mas mababa yung AIC ni Model 2, yung ano lang, yung 40 plus thousand na observations. Kasi si model, yung unang model natin, yung model 911, 911,000 yung Akaiki niya. Itong Model 2, 729 lang, diba? So in this regard, in this aspect, we can say that AIC, yung Model 2 is better than R squared ba? R squared. Ang R squared ni ilan? 91.98 si di ba? Si adjusted R squared, si model 1, si model. Okay, pero si 91 point, mas konti siya. 91 point. Sana? 91.93. Konti lang yung difference. Konti lang difference. Pero guys, of course, this will really matter in terms of economies of scale. Bakit? Kasi imagine if you have to get data that's 53,000 lahat na observations compared to just 40,000, di ba? Malaking difference yun. Okay, nakascale lang yung nakascale yung observations, ang dami ng observations natin. Okay, so let's move on, guys. Let's move on. Ito. Now, kanina, natutunan natin mag-predict, di ba? Dito naman, guys, i-predict natin yung Let's predict yung scores, predict the scores on the testing model. Okay, so paano natin Paano natin i-predict? So, okay, gawa tayo ng P. Let's call it P2. Kasi may P na tayo kanina. P2 is, di ba, ang ginamit natin predict, di ba? Predict, tapos ang gagamitin natin si model 2. And then based on anong data ang gagamitin natin, guys? Yung testing data. Okay, sabi sa atin dito, predict the scores based on model 2 of testing data. If you run this, tapos lang head na So let's run this. Okay, so ito na guys yung ano nila. Si P2, ito na yung ano yung mga predicted values. And then of course, we're going to isa na si test. Ito. Kunyari, yung price dito is 2005. Tapos dito sa P2 natin, ang price 2218. So makikita natin na may mga residuals. No? Ito, 7787 vis-a-vis 7919. Okay? So anong ginawa natin dito guys? Based on the model that we generated using training data, we can predict yung testing data. Of course, i-compare pa natin yan, no? Next meeting guys, mag-confusion matrix. What's that? Ang gagawin natin, i-compare natin yung using yung training data. Okay, i-compare natin kung ano yung ilang percent yung tamang yung confusion matrix later on yan pag nasa logical tayo. Hindi natin gagamitin dito. I stand corrected. Okay, so hindi pa natin gagamitin si confusion matrix. Dito natin i-check natin ngayon guys, calculate natin yung Ramsey. Okay? Let's calculate an error metric. I think ginamit natin ito kanina, no? Ramsey, which is the root mean square error. Let's do that on the test set and see how the model performs out of sample rather than in sample as in the previous. Ano yung out of sample, guys? Out of sample, ito yung testing data natin. Ito yung hindi natin ginamit dun sa model natin. Out of sample siya. Okay, versus the in sample. Ito yung sa training natin. Okay, so we do this by calculating the errors between the predicted and the actual sa subtract natin. Okay, yung ginamit natin kanina guys. Okay, ay, ito na pala. Hindi ko na tinanggal, no? So, let's call this error 2. Error 2 is equal to P2. Si P2, di ba, ito yung ano, guys, ito yung P2 is the vector of predicted values. Tapos, ima-minus natin yung predicted minus yung actual. No? Ito yung actual. So, this is coming from your testing data set. Okay, remember, this is your data set, yung test. And then, kukunin natin yung price na column niya. Ito. Ito yung test. Ito yung price niya. Yan. And then, isa-subtract natin dito sa sa P2, sa actual. And then, predicted minus actual. Pause muna ako guys. Any questions kung clear yung sinasabi ko dyan?
Wala pa naman, sir.
Okay, clear pa, no? Remember P2 guys, yung generate natin kanina to, P2 is your predicted value, di ba? Yun, yung predict ginamit natin. Okay? Yung predict natin, yung predicted value ng testing data natin. Kasi yun ang tinitingnan natin yun. Of course guys, pwedeng ang inuna sana muna natin yung training data. Co-compare natin yung actual ng training at saka yung predicted ng training. Pero dumiretso na tayo sa test, no? Sa testing data. Kasi interested tayo how well our model will work. How well our model 2, which we based on the training data, how well it will work on the testing data. Sige, i-ano natin to. I-run natin. Okay, then compute natin yung Ramsey root mean square error, which is the error 2 to, error 2, sorry. Square root of error 2 squared, and then mean muna, tapos square root. Okay. 1108.658. Okay, ano nangyari dun sa ano? Kanina, guys, yung all model yung ano natin, nasa na siya? Saan yung Ramsey natin dito? 1129 guys. So, when we used all the observations, 1129.843. So dito,
Sir?
yes,
Okay. Yan, nakita ko na. Never mind.
okay na? Oo, sige.
Okay na, sir.
Okay. So, ang root mean square error nung sa testing data is 1108.658. In fact, it was even less than yung yung kanina, no? Gawin nga natin to guys, Control C. Tingnan lang natin guys yung error ng dun sa training data. I'll call it error 2A, which is kailangan muna natin i-predict. Let's see. Control C. Dito ko siya ilalagay. Control V. I'm now creating and then ito yung train. Sorry guys, sasabihin ko hindi nyo naintindihan to. Okay, sandali. Okay, take a look at the formula I'm creating. So dito, I'm creating an object called error 2A. Tapos, pinapa-predict ko using model 2. No? Yung model 2 na ang ginamit natin yung train data minus yung price, actual price dun sa train data. So, kukunin niya rin yung difference. Difference of this and the difference and this one. Okay? Clear ba to guys? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Parang pinagsama ko lang, no? So ito yung predicted function. Okay, predict dito guys ng model 2 natin using the train data. Tapos i-minus natin yung actual na price of the train data. Okay, if we run this, okay, so may error 2A na tayo, no? Okay, 43152 kasi there are 43152 observations dun sa train. So bawat isa sa kanila may error. Tapos i-copy natin yung Control C, Control V, yung error ng error 2A. Error 2A, square siya, tapos get the average, and then get the square root of that to get the Ramsey root mean square error of your training data. Control Enter. Okay. In fact, guys, mas maliit pa nga yung root mean square error dun sa testing data compared to the training data. Which means, guys, na okay yung okay yung model natin. In terms of Ramsey, the error is even lower when we use the model 2 on a data that has not been seen.
Sir?
Yes.
Iba yung error ko.
Iba? Sige, i-stop share ulit ako ha.
Nag-ano kasi na naman yung P2 eh.
Nag-ano yung P2?
Parang yung kanina, sir, yung weird yung laman niya.
Sige. Okay lang naman na hindi natin i-print.
Ito yung laman ng P2.
Teka muna. Tingnan muna natin yung P2 mo. Let's check muna. What's inside your P2? Predict, model 2. Okay, test, no? Okay, so kahit na hindi natin i-view yung i-print mo na lang dito, William, yung just to check, no? Dito sa console, lagay mo print P2.
Ay, sir, dito sa or sa
console na lang para hindi diyan
hindi
mag-populate diyan sa sa script window. Yan. Yun yung error terms, no? Okay naman siya. No? So 40 40 ilan siya?
Ay, wait. P2 ba dapat to, sir?
Ha?
Ito ba dito,
P2
sir?
dapat yan. P2.
Baka kaya.
Oo.
Ayun, okay na pala.
Oh,
So,
yan.
sorry, hindi ko napansin.
Kasi kung P siya, yung kanina yun, di ba?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Eh yung kanina, yung P natin, 53,000 observations yun. Di ba?
Yeah, yeah, diba? Yep.
Okay, tapos, saan ka na? Ano nangyari
Okay.
dun sa na-compute mo ba yung ano? 5519?
Eh, sir, ano, yung 5519, yung nakalimutan ko lagyan ng 2.
Okay. Oo,
Tapos
sige.
binalikan ko yung, ano, okay na siya, sir.
Okay na.
Mm-mm.
No,
Sorry,
no,
hindi ko
no, it's okay.
napansin.
It's okay. No further questions?
Wala, sir.
Wala. Sige. Okay, sige. Share ulit ako ha. Okay. Alright. So dito guys lumalabas na na ano ba to? Yung root mean square error ng ano natin, ng model natin using the train data is 1135. Tapos ginamit natin yung model to compute for the error of the testing data. Okay siya kasi mas maliit pa nga yung root mean square error. Eh. So ibig sabihin, our model was able to predict using the testing data, and it had a lower Ramsey, which is a measure of error term. Okay. All right. So sige guys, ang gagawin natin ngayon, ano muna no? I'll just explain muna what cross validation is. Okay, tapos we will continue with this next meeting on Wednesday kasi medyo mahabang discussion tong cross validation, no? Pero ano yung cross validation, guys? Cross validation, sa ganito, no? Let me start with the concept again. What you learned before in your regression was that you just choose everything, di ba? Everything that's available for you dun sa data set. Sabi natin, a better practice is not to overfit your model. Yung overfitting, guys, ginagamit mo lahat ng observations para ma-create mo yung model. So, it's best to split your data into a training and a testing data. So, pag generate natin yung training, so i-model natin using the training, and then we check yung sa testing. Now, next meeting, tutuloy pa natin yung yung pagko-compare ng training and testing. But now, guys, I just want to quickly discuss yung introduction nito, yung cross validation. What's cross validation, CV, guys? This is more of an automated way to split your data. No? Kasi kanina ginamit natin, in-split natin yung data natin into a training and a testing. Okay, ito guys medyo may disadvantage yung ganun kasi minsan pag may mga outliers tayo, malaking effect yan sa sa Ramsey natin. Lalo na pag may mga outliers. A better approach is using what we call the cross validation. Ito 'yon. Okay, so I would that you guys that you read up on cross validation kasi ito yung i-discuss natin next meeting. So ang nangyayari dito, nagkakaroon tayo ng folds, no? So several train and test splits to. Unlike yung ginawa natin kanina, isa lang. Ito, sabihin natin na 10 cross-fold validation, parang 10 training and testing ang ginagawa. So, ang nangyayari guys, several training and testing, several randomization. So, mas gumaganda yung mas gumaganda yung model natin. We split our data into, kunyari, 10 folds, no? So, ibig sabihin ng 10 training and testing. So, these folds are created in such a way that each point in our data set occurs exactly in one test set. Okay, kunyari, gagawa tayo ng 10 na cross validation. Each of the items there in your data set will be tested, will become part of a training data set. Okay, so lahat ng data set masasama dun sa pag-train ng model. Okay, so what's the advantage of a cross-validation over a single train test split? It gives us multiple estimates of out of sample error. Okay, now later on guys, pag nagpunta na tayo sa machine learning, ang ginagawa ni machine learning, siya yung mismo mag-generate ng ng cross-validation. Kunyari, 5 cross-validation, 10 cross-validation. Tapos hahanapin niya kung anong combination ng mga training and test split na magbibigay sa atin na the lowest of error. Okay, so very powerful guys, very powerful. It gives you multiple estimates of your out-of-sample Ramsey rather than a single estimate. If all of your estimates give similar outputs, you can be certain of the model's accuracy. If your estimates give different outputs, that tells you the model does not perform consistently and suggests a problem with it. So we're going to look at this in greater detail. Ito explain natin to guys. An example to, this is coming from the ML bench. No? Okay, so tingnan natin before we go. Okay, may function guys na may package na ML bench. Okay, ito ML bench at saka caret. Ito yung mga sabihin natin na mga tour de force no sa wala. Anyway, hanapin niyo lang guys no. ML bench is a very important package in machine learning. Okay, so dito medyo matagal kasi ito guys. Sige, i-ano lang natin to no. Let's check. I-run lang natin to. So what's happening here? So I'm going to ask R to fit a linear model, but this time automatically siya yung magko-cross validation. Siya yung mag-split 10 times. No? So 10 times siyang gagawa ng model. So here, model 3, okay, and then train. So the function is train. So price, tilde, dot. So pareho pa rin, no? Okay, dito ang gagamitin natin si Diamond's dataset. Kasi guys, siya na bahala dito kay Diamond's dataset. Ang ginamit natin kanina, Diamond's shuffle, di ba? Ito, paggamit natin sa kanya yung original dataset, siya na bahala mag-shuffling nun. Method linear model. Okay, tapos ito yung train control, i-define natin. Ang method is cross-validation. Number of times, 10. Okay, so ito yung iteration, ipapakita na yung iteration. Okay, so this in a nutshell is this is coming from your ML bench. So before you can run this, dapat i-install nyo muna guys. Install muna, paki-install. Hindi ko pa yata napa-install sa inyo yung ML bench. Okay, medyo may konting katagalan lang to. Pero sige, let's go. We'll just meet up to 4, no? Up to 4 today, and then yung mga kulang-kulang natin, babawiin na lang natin next meeting yan. So next meeting guys, itutuloy lang natin to ano pa rin tayo, no? Introduction to machine learning. So we're using regression as a springboard to tackle machine learning. Na-install nyo na guys, tapos paki-library na rin, paki-load.
Sir,
Yes?
dun sa library, may quotation marks pa rin ba yun?
Kahit wala na.
Okay.
Kahit wala na. Okay lang meron, pero
Okay lang meron.
pag wala, okay pa rin yan. Pero yung installed packages, kailangan may quotation. Hindi siya mag-run pag wala quotation.
Okay, thank you.
Pag nag-load nyo na guys, pakisabi sa akin.
Okay na rin, sir.
Okay na? Okay. Si William, okay na?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, guys, tignan nyo rin si so medyo explore nyo si ML Bench. No? Itong dalawang powerful packages ang gagamitin natin all throughout. May iba pa. No? So ito warning lang guys, medyo matagal-tagal to, no? So, pero sige, i-run na natin para at least na-run na natin to. So we're creating a model 3. The function is ML train, no? So this is coming from the ML bench package. So ang mangyayari nito, i-automate ni R yung pag split ng data, no? Method CV cross validation. So 10 times niya gagawin yan. Kaya nga medyo matagal yung process. Kasi imagine 53,000 yung data natin, di ba? I-split niya yan into 10, no? 10 times siya magmo-model. So this will really take some time. So i-run na natin. Run na natin. Dito na muna, no? Ito na muna i-run natin. Huwag na muna itong pag-print. Let's run this. Okay. So medyo maghihintay tayo ng konti, guys. Tingnan nyo, sabi, fold 01. Hintay natin. Baka mauna kayo kasi medyo mabagal yung machine.
Done na ako, sir.
Ako din, sir.
Done na! Grabe! May problema talaga itong machine ko. Sige, i-ano yun na guys, i-model 3. Ang tagal, oh. Kaya nyo, ang bilis nyo, ah. Nag-run na ba yung model 3?
Yes, sir.
Yan, sige. Pag nag-run yung guys, ang susunod na gagawin, i-summarize natin yan. Mag-ano sa akin. Yan yung fold. Ibig sabihin guys, yan na yung, yung pag-split ng mga data. Ayan na, meron na ako. Ayan. So, yan, fold 1, fold 2, hanggang fold 10. Okay? So, 9 predictors, 53, 940. Okay, tapos ito yung mga sample sizes na ginawa nyo. 48,546 sa una, pangalawa, pangatlo. Medyo magkakalapit, ano? 10 yan. Okay. And then, Ramsey niya, Ramsey, 1130, no? 1130. Okay, ilan yung Ramsey kanina ng ano? Ilan yung Ramsey ng sa training natin?
1108.
11, hindi, testing yun eh, no?
Ay.
So, 1135, nakita nyo? Yung sa, yung sa training. Diba? 1135, no? Ito, 1130. Mas mababa yung Ramsey niya, no? Okay? Tapos, summarize natin yung model. Let's see. Okay? So, nag-create siya ng model, guys, based on, ano ba yung model, ano? So, 91.98%. So, halos pareho lang na natin. Yung ginamit natin yung full model kanina. Pero ito, with the benefit of, with the benefit of splitting your data. Tama ba yung data ko? Data. Okay. Alright, sige. So, we're going to discuss this in greater detail. Pero may I request you guys to run this. Okay, it's using the Boston housing data. Okay, cross-validation din to. Okay, model 4. Okay, ito, 5 lang ginawa ko but you can replace this into 10. Tapos i-discuss to natin next meeting. Tapos meron pa dito ulit. Ano ba yung ginawa natin dito? Ito ibang method guys, no? Iba yung cross-validation sa repeated cross-validation. So, pakitingnan nyo guys kung ano yung ibig sabihin ng repeated na cross-validation. Okay? So, did you learn something new today, guys?
Sir, question.
Yes, sure.
I-run na ba namin ngayon yung sa Boston housing?
Hindi na muna. Parang assignment ko yan.
Oh, okay.
Hindi, excited kaya ka masyado sa also.
No,
Excited ka masyado eh. Talaga oh. Yan ang gusto ko sa inyo guys. Ano no?
Si William.
Si William ba yun?
Yes, sir.
Magkapareho na kayo ng boses, hindi ko talaga ma-distinguish, no? Halos magkapareho ng boses. Okay, so any questions so far, guys?
Wala pa naman.
Konting basa din guys ng cross validation. Hindi naman natin lahat, of course, you know it, your master students, no? You know that yung time frame natin will not be enough to really cover the nuances of the topic. So, since masters na kayo, I know you don't need prodding. Okay, I'm sure you're on your own. You will try to explore more. Okay? Alright, so I hope may natutunan kayo na hindi pareho ng regression yung dati. I hope you learned something about splitting the data, testing, training, and then a better way is the cross-validation. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Gentlemen, okay?
Okay po.
Alright, so stop recording ko na muna. Okay.